Well, practice was fine. Ball State is a really good football team. They're physical. They play ball the way you're supposed to play it. They're big up front. They run it well. Their quarterback's very effective. You know, they're very efficient throwing the ball. They protect the quarterback well. They're fifth in the country in sacks allowed. Defensively, they play square. They play physical. They come downhill on you. They do a great job of getting off blocks. They're very solid in the kicking game. I mean, it's a really, really impressive football team when you watch them on film. So it's going to be a real challenge for us to go on the road again and play a good team in their stadium. And they're coming off a good win. So I'm sure they'll be fired up. And, you know, we've just got to continue to work hard and stay focused on what we need to do and then go match their physicality and make some plays to have a chance to win the game.
Keeping the energy, how has the team been able to keep the energy in practice always?
You know, they're 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. You know, they typically wake up with a lot of energy. I also think that they're excited about the progress that they're making. And I think they're anxious to, you know, to continue to grow. And so that, I think, fosters energy. You know, today was a real workmanlike practice. I mean, they were very focused. They were dialed in. Not a lot of jumping around and stuff like that, which is fine, you know, as long as they're doing their job. The energy, you hope, builds during the week. And, you know, we've been able to come out the last couple weeks at least on game day with, you know, a pretty good mindset. So I think it's just a combination of things. Being young, being excited about the direction that we're moving in, being excited to play football, which is a game they love.
Coach, how much has Christian Haynes meant to your offense as kind of the anchor there along with Jake?
Well, you think about Jake and you think about Christian, you think about Val, and really the whole the five, you know, getting Chase back as well. And Noel, I mean, it's they've been consistent. And when you play together and you're smart and you're very, very well coached and you're motivated, then as a group you're going to get better. But there's no doubt that Christian, you know, acts as the leader probably of the entire offense along with Robert Burns. I mean, those are kind of the guys that I think players would identify as, you know, the stalwarts, the guys that we can always count on. And, you know, Christian plays with physicality, he plays with toughness, he plays with passion. It's very important to him. He's always dialed in, he's always serious, and he has a voice that carries. He doesn't say a lot, but when he does, everybody responds to what Christian Haynes is going to say. I don't think people are going to mess with him.
How's the pass blocking been in particular? I mean, you're looking for guys to get open on the outside because you don't have your speedsters. Are they blocking pretty well to get through time?
Yeah, I don't know how many sacks we've given up. I think 7. Yeah, I think that's I don't know where that would rank, but I've been impressed with it. You know, our quarterbacks have taken some hits that would maybe make people think we weren't protecting well, but you know, sometimes that's on the quarterback, you know, not getting rid of it. Sometimes it's on the receiver running the wrong route. Sometimes it's on a back or a tight end not getting a block. The offensive line, they protected well. As a group, we've protected well, although we've had a couple ugly plays. But I think it's been good. We're always trying to get better. You know, we're playing a team this week that's outstanding. I mean, they've given up, I think, 4 sacks. I think that's or 4 or 5. You know, I know that they rank in the top 5 nationally in sacks allowed. So, you know, we're gonna have to try to figure out ways to rush the passer. And of course, every week we got to do a great job in protection so Zion has some time.
It seems like a lot of the guys that are, you know, looked at as leaders, you know, Christian Haynes, Jackson, these ones that they've been here for a while. Do you think that gives them a little bit more respect in the locker room that they've been through it?
You know what? I think you earn respect every day, and you earn the right to be a leader every single day, and you can lose it like that. And I just think that with those guys, it's not their words, it's their actions. And probably some of the things that they've been through and been able to maintain a really good attitude and a positive outlook and a toughness, you know, that's been built through the adversity they've been through. And they haven't cowered, they haven't quit. They've just stayed very positive, hardworking, and players respect that. I know I respect it. Coaches respect it. I think that you know, people that watch the game respect it. But like I've said, you know, just because you play a certain position, you've been somewhere a long time, doesn't mean you're a leader, you know. But you've identified two guys right there that they certainly are leaders, and it's the example they set every day that makes them leaders.
You talk about the timing of after this game, you have a bye week. Do you sense that kids are going to need a break after running the gauntlet we've talked about these last few weeks? Do they see the carrot after this game to kind of reset after?
We don't talk about the next week. We don't talk about the bye. I'm sure they're aware of it. Our focus is on Ball State. Our world ends when that game ends, you know, and then we'll start over. I haven't given the bye one lick of thought. I can't even tell you what we're going to do on Monday after the bye. That's just not my focus, and I don't want it to be our team's focus. So, you know, we're thinking about Ball State, 2 o'clock, Muncie, Indiana, and after that, who knows?
When you have a reliable receiver like Aaron Turner, how much does that help a freshman quarterback to have a guy like that who he knows he can throw to in big situations and he'll always come through with a big catch for him?
Well, I think it's very important. You know, I think everyone needs like kind of that safety valve. You know, they talk about routes, so he's your safety valve, but I mean the safety valve person, the guy they know they can go to in crunch time, and the guy's going to be dependable, and AT is certainly that. I think you're seeing Justin Jolie work into that role as well. You know, he's a guy that Zion feels very comfortable throwing to, and he's making a lot of catches, and a lot of them are third down conversions. So, you know, the more guys that your quarterback feels trust in, you know, the better you're going to be as an offense. And I think we're starting to see that in our pass game. Is that it? Easy.
Where's Devontae stand right now?
The what now?
Devontae Houston, how's he?
He's got a sprained ankle. He won't play this week. And then we'll see, you know, how he progresses. I mean, this is a tough dude, right? And I think we all already know he's a tough dude. So as quickly as he can get back, he'll get back and he'll get right back in there.
Coach, there's a real buzz amongst the fan base. It's the first time in a while this team has put together some victories. Do you hear any of that outside noise in a positive manner at all?
No, I don't do really social media. Every once in a while I'll look at something, you know, but I just try to make it a habit not to. I think it can be poisonous either way, you know, because things flip like that when you lose. So I don't read the paper. Sorry, guys. I guess, are there even newspapers anymore? I can't, you know, I just think the focus needs to be on what we're doing in here. I preach that with the players, and so I have to do that myself. And quite frankly, I don't really have the time right now to do that. So I encourage my wife not to do it either, because I don't like to hear did you see what they're saying? No, and you shouldn't either. Okay.
You hear a lot about Robert Burns as far as leadership goes, but what does he do on the field as the fullback? It's kind of a position that people don't really notice.
I don't even know if he's a fullback. Like he's the hybrid, right? I mean, he plays fullback, he plays running back, he plays like a little tight end, he plays some slot, you know. I mean, he's like a Swiss Army knife. I shouldn't say knife. He's like a Swiss Army tool. You know, he's just so dependable in everything that he does, you know, so dependable. And the players respond to him and respect him. And, you know, we give out awards when we win. And it seems like when we've won a game, you know, every week he's getting some award, you know, and he's fun to have. And I know we depend on him so much, and especially with the injuries we've had. You know, he just can do anything, and he's willing to do everything, and he does it with passion.
What are those awards?
What's that?
What are those awards?
They're just, you know, things we give out. No Swiss Army knives, just tools.
Jim, Robert Burns had very few touches last year here. Now he's seeing, you know, some opportunities, getting some reps. What is it about his game that has kind of surprised you maybe? Because, you know, like he's a fullback, he's more of a blocking guy, but now he's running the ball pretty well.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that if he gets a little hole and he gets to the second level, there's not a lot of people that really want to step up and tackle him. You know, I mean, he's solid. He's rocked up. It's just, you know, we started really seeing that in the spring, that he was capable of doing a lot of different things for this offense and filling in a lot of spaces. And, you know, the more opportunities he gets, you know, the more he makes of them. You know, he's just dependable. You know, I always feel good when he's in the game. I feel like, you know, things are going to get done. He's going to take care of his job consistently. And I think our whole staff feels that way, and I think the players certainly feel that way.
With Devontae out, have you talked to Victor and Robert about doing whatever they can to try and protect themselves, or is that just kind of?
They're running backs, man. You got to run. You know, you got 11 people trying to hit you on every play. I think that the minute you start talking to players about protecting themselves, that you put that little bug in their ear, that little seed in their mind, and you cannot play this game at anything less than full speed, 100% aggression. You have to be violent. You have to go after people. That's the only way you can play it. And if you start curling up in a ball and trying to protect yourself, then you get hurt. So we're going to try to play with as much violence and aggression and passion as we can.
You did talk a few weeks ago about not wanting Victor to carry the ball 20 times.
That changed, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, is that, you just have to take a new mindset with him and say, you know, it's either that or we give the ball to Cam who
Right.
hasn't touched it?
But things change, you know, so that was a few weeks ago when he was kind of new in terms of the repetitions he was getting. He was starting to get more repetitions. He hadn't had a lot. Now, you know, he's a little bit more game ready than he's ever been just because of the plays that he's had, you know, the repetitions that he's gotten, the carries that he's taken. So I don't feel the same way now that I did whenever it was that we talked about a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because he's a different player now, you know, and he's been in the fire and he's done well. So he's growing, you know, his growth is showing. And so giving him the football more, it's just a natural progression, not only of his development, but it's necessary, right? So that's how I feel about Victor. I have a lot of trust in Victor.
Is Cam ready?
Cam, yeah, he's close. I mean, you know, it's different for Cam. He spent a lot of time on defense. He missed a lot of the installation, you know, when we were the foundation of this offense. But he's a very smart young man. It's very important to him. I have no doubt that if he were given the opportunity, if he were, you know, let's say given rather than forced in, but given the opportunity, that he'd go out and he'd perform well. And I know that he'd give his all. So right now I'm hopeful that we don't have to go that route because I want to see Victor and Robert Burns, you know, hold up. I want to see those guys play well and stay healthy.
Do you ever talk to the team about building momentum through a win streak? I mean, I know you want to go game by game mentality, but there is something to momentum too, isn't there?
Sure. But I think momentum, you have to capture it every day. You know, like it's fleeting and it can go one way or the other very quickly. So, you know, our mindset is one day at a time, just get better today. But, you know, you can't ignore that, you know, we need to keep this thing going, right? We need to keep it rolling. But then you have to tell them how you keep it rolling. Like you say, hey, keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. What does that really mean? You know, number one, how did we get to this place where we've won a couple games? What did we have to do to get to this place? And we need to keep doing these specific things. And that's how you create momentum. So I just think that if you're, you know, just throwing out slogans like, let's keep it rolling. I mean, that's just.
Are there specific things you can talk about without giving away a game plan?
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, certainly. Just preparation, focus, intensity, you know, raising the standard every day, holding yourself accountable to a certain level of performance every day, trying to reach our potential every day, every play of every day, entering the meeting room every single day with the mindset that I'm going to work, all right, I'm going to lock out distractions, you know, building on what you've done, you know, and not ever regressing. You know, it's like if you're a bricklayer, you know, you don't lay one brick that's beautiful, and then you come back and you go, man, that one's beautiful. I can put this one in half-ass, right? Because then your house falls down. So that's kind of the mindset that we have to take, that every single day, every single thing we do matters, or we wouldn't be doing it, because we're not just going to do stuff that doesn't matter.
With so many young players, is that a message that you have to keep hammering through with them?
I think you have to hammer it through, whether you have young players, old players, whether you've been in the NFL, whether you've been 15 years in the league. I mean, when you listen to the great ones, you know, listen to Tom Brady, listen to, and I'll just point out some, you know, a Ronnie Lott, you know, a Breeze, an Aaron Rodgers, all these guys. You know, if you listen to them, and I've been around a lot of those guys, been fortunate, like that was their mindset. You know, that was always their mindset. That's why they become great. It's because every single day they challenge themselves to be better than they were before. And so I think that it's something that's got to be a constant message with young guys, old guys, established guys, brand new guys. I mean, that's the culture, that's the mindset, that's the level of the standard that you always have to set and push and you have to protect and you have to be vigilant about.
Along those lines, what have you liked most about the two freshmen that are in the backfield in terms of Zion and Victor Rose? What have you liked from that?
I've liked their mindset. I like their mentality. You know, I like the fact that that they just grind. You know, like the things that I just said. They work. You know, it's important to them. You can see it in the way that they enter the building, and you can see it in their facial expressions. You know, in a meeting, like they're always checked in. I have never seen them yet check out. And you know, you guys, you know, when you stand in front of people, sometimes you're in a meeting, you can see who's checked in and who's checked out. And those guys are always checked in. And I mean, that's what winners do. You know, winners check in even when they don't feel like it. So I just have a lot of respect for those two young men. You just checked out. No. Yeah, I was checking you guys. Who's checked in? Mike's reading his notes. He's checked out. Yeah, oh, there you go. Okay. We good? You guys have a great day. Take care.